Well, hello scrappers, Mike here. Welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to recover some silver from some silver nitrate solution I've got over here. This silver nitrate solution's been sitting around, it's taking up space for a while. It's from a previous project. I want to recover the silver from it, get my round bottom flask back, and just tidy up the workshop a little bit. Now, I don't remember exactly how much silver's in here. It's been sitting around for quite a while. So there may be a lot, there may be a little. I'm thinking this is fairly concentrated, if I remember correctly. So just to get it back, I'm just going to cement it out on some copper over here. I got a copper coil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the beaker here, and I'm going to dilute it with some distilled water. And we'll put the copper coil in, and I'll probably set up my GoPro and see if we can get a time lapse of the silver cementing out in the copper. That should be interesting. But I don't have a lot of time this morning. I can't get involved in any, deep projects because in a couple hours I got to go do a scrap pickup with a new client. So just got simple stuff I can take care of today, basically. That's all. So let me get this in here. Yeah, and I'm going to dilute this good. It seems to work much better when it's diluted. So I'm going to dilute it by at least, 100% or more. All right. That looks pretty good. Compress the copper coil so it's all under the liquid. That should work pretty good. Okay, so let me set up the GoPro, and we'll see if we can get a time lapse of the silver coming out of solution on this. It's a cold morning for Florida. It's in the 40s out here Fahrenheit. So this may be a slow process. We'll see. But the time lapse will speed it up. Okay, I think we're ready to go. I've got the GoPro going, doing a time lapse shot. So let's put the copper coil in. Ooh, it immediately gets dark. I think, you know what, in spite of the cold out here, that seems to be like a very quick reaction. Yeah, I'm seeing stuff develop on that coil almost immediately. Let me get you a close-up with my phone, because that's interesting, how quickly that's developing. So yeah, here we are literally seconds after putting that copper coil in, and look at all the silver that's cementing out on it. Wow. Yeah, this may be a fairly concentrated solution. I quite frankly don't remember how much silver roughly is in this stuff. This is from a project that's happened months ago, and it's just been sitting around waiting for me to do something with it. So we'll just let this go for a good part of the day, at least until I get back from my scrap run, and we'll take a look and see how much silver we've got, and hopefully we'll get a nice time lapse too on the GoPro. So it's been a couple more minutes, and I don't know if how shiny those crystals are in there is showing up on the video or not, but we've got some really, really shiny, if it'll focus, silver crystals forming in there. Some nice flat planes on them to reflect the light. Yeah. Look how much fatter the wire's gotten. Yeah, we're definitely pulling some silver out of that solution. Excellent. So it's been about another 10 minutes. I've been working on stuff in the background, and wow, will you look at that silver accumulating in there. And it's fairly big crystals for a change. Usually I get this really fine stuff that looks like, Spanish moss on the oak trees here in Florida. But this is really big, shiny crystals of silver here. Very cool. And just look how much fatter the wire's gotten in just this short period of time. Holy cow. Yeah. It looks like a fair amount of silver. And it's still going strong, I think. So just let it go, like I said, for a good part of the day. And see how much we get. I may actually let it go overnight. because it can take a while to get all the silver out of solution using this method. It'll slow way down, but it'll still keep coming out for a long time. But yeah, look at that. That's impressive. Okay, we're just gonna let it go. Holy moly. It's been about a half hour since I put the coil in there. I've been off doing other stuff, walked by it, and it's like, whoa, look at that. All right. Just gonna let it, just gonna let it keep going. These are working good. Wow, we are a little over an hour in. Look at all that silver. Wow. Yeah, now we're starting to get some of that Spanish moss look in there. I think as the concentration of silver in the liquid goes down, we start getting more of that fine dendritic stuff there. And as the concentration of silver goes down, the concentration of copper in the liquid goes up, and I do believe the blue color has gotten deeper and darker. All right. Just gonna let it keep going and see just how much silver we can get out of this stuff. Well, here we are about 3.5 hours in. Holy moly. Looks like a lot of silver. You know, it's always looks like a lot when it's wet. It's light and fluffy. I'm going to let this go a while longer and then shake the silver off of the coil so that it can start growing again. I think the reaction slows down once the coil's so covered with silver. But I'm going to let it go for a while longer. I'm off to do my scrap pickup now. And when I get back, I'll probably shake it down and put it in the fume hood and leave it overnight and see how much more silver we get out of this stuff. Well, it's the middle of the afternoon. I'm back from my scrap pickup, but that'll be a separate video. I'm going to knock the silver off the coil and put this beaker in the fume hood out of harm's way because it's about to storm. It's getting really dark and windy. And we'll just let this sit overnight and we'll see how much silver accumulates on it tomorrow. And then we'll clean up all this silver and dry it out and weigh it and see how much silver we got. Okay, so here we go. Oh yeah, that is a lot of silver down there on the bottom of that beaker. We got some nice fresh copper exposed now. So let me put this in the fume hood and we will just let it sit overnight. And hopefully we'll get some more out by morning. Then we can deal with all of it together. Well, it's the next morning, and it's kind of interesting. The liquid's gone dark. I'm not certain why. We got some more silver that's cemented out on the copper in there. I see some bubbles rising. There might have been a little bit of residual nitric acid in here. And maybe we've got a reaction going on where the nitric acid is dissolving more copper out, and that's why the liquid's gotten so dark. It's probably redissolving some of the silver, and it's reprecipitating or re-cementing out on the copper too. I imagine that's what's going on. I'm not certain. But, alright. I will get my act together here, and we'll get set up to clean up this silver, dry it out, and weigh it, and see how much we've got here. Alright, the first thing I want to do is get this dark liquid out of here. To stop whatever reaction is going on in there. Okay. Let me get some distilled water here. Wash the silver off of this copper. I'm going to put the copper back in here and let it consume whatever nitric acid is left in there and use it up. Let me rinse this stuff. Again, I want to get, any residual nitric acid out of here. Plus, I want to rinse out the blue-green color, which is copper contamination. Oh, there are some shiny, shiny silver crystals in there. Super shiny. So I'm going to give this a couple of quick rinses. And then I think we're going to give it some boils in the fume hood. Try and get as much of this copper contamination out of it as I can before we dry it out. In fact, let me find a stir stick here. There's some lumps of silver in here. I need to break them up because I'm sure they're hiding copper solution inside them. Oh yeah, see the liquid keeps turning blue, so we're still getting copper out of here. Probably residual nitric acid too. Yeah, there's some shiny crystals in there, and it looks like some wires of silver too have formed. Long silver crystals that look like wires. I think I'll give it one more rinse like this. It's very early in the morning. If I'd got out here earlier and thought about it, I'd have boiled some water to rinse the silver with. Looks like a lot of silver. We'll see how much it really is once it's dried out. Okay, I'm going to put some more distilled water on it, and we'll put it in the fume hood and give it a boil or two. And clean it up. Let me get all this stuff down in the water column down there. And we'll put it on the heat and boil it and rinse it a few more times. Okay, there it is in the fume hood. I just cranked up the heat on the hot plate. It's going to take a while for it to start boiling, but we'll give it a couple of good boils at least in distilled water. I still see a very slight blue color to the liquid. I'm gonna keep giving it boils until I don't see any more blue color in the liquid, and maybe one or two after that, and then we should have some pretty good clean silver. So just gonna let it heat up and start boiling. There she goes. Finally got up to a boil. I'll let it boil for a few minutes and then change out the water. I don't know if you can see the still got faint blue color to it there. And I will do that a few times. You don't have to watch the whole process, but I will change out the water and boil it a few more times till there's no more color, looks nice and clear, and then start drying it out so we can get a weight on it later today. Okay, I've kind of lost track of how many boils I've done, but this is going to be the last one. That water's good and clear, so I will decant off this liquid and we will start drying out the silver so we can get a good weight on it. All right, we're going to leave that on low heat until all this silver powder dries out, and then we can scrape it together and get a weight on it. Now over here, got all my rinse water and the processed water over there in the back. The processed water, I'm just going to let that sit, and I still see bubbles rising up in it from time to time, so I think there's a bit of residual nitric in there, and it's attacking the copper. If I move this out of the way, I don't know if it's showing up, but there's a layer of silver on the bottom of that. Drug some over with the water as I decanted it off, and there may be more that's coming off the coil in there. I don't know. So I will get some more silver out of that once whatever reactions are going on in that beaker are done. But I may just let that sit for days. As the weather warms up, the reaction may get more vigorous, so it may take a while to finish. But we should be able to weigh up this stuff later this afternoon, though, and get a final weight on how much silver I've got so far out of this stuff. Okay, cement silver's all dried up. Time to weigh it and see how much we've got. Come on, you can do it. There we go. All right. So a little bit of stuff stuck in the bottom here, but not too much. I don't know if it's going to make a difference. Probably not. All right, can you see the scale? 33.7 grams, so a little over an ounce of cement silver I got out of that liquid that's just been sitting around for months. I'm pretty sure I got that from IC chips, but my memory is a little hazy. There's been a lot of projects between then and now. But hey, a little over an ounce, that's pretty cool. I'm going to add this to my cement silver jar over here. I would say there's probably close to an ounce in there already, so we might have about 2 ounces there. Yeah, so we'll be able to pour a pretty good looking bar pretty soon if I can get a little more silver in there. Maybe double it. Maybe a little more than that. 5-ounce bar would be nice, I'm thinking, to pour. So we'll just keep building it up, and eventually we'll pour ourselves a nice bar. Okay, well, I hope you found this video a little bit interesting, educational, informative, inspirational, whatever. Give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Check out my 2 other channels, ElectroGeek64 and Mike's Lapidarian Fossils. There's good stuff going on in those channels too. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching this one. Bye.